Hey there. Today I want to talk to you about life. Now, I thought about a couple different things, nature of the humanity and everything like that. And maybe we'll get into that in a second. But first off, I just want to tell you that I am at the climax of my life. It can either go up or down. The crucible, the turning point, the possible moment that could change everything for better or for worse. You see, I have a very interesting situation going on. I have a girl who likes me, and I like her. And I've never had that before, truly. I've had a lot of things go on in the past, but they meant nothing. But this one's different. At least I hope so. And on top of that, I'm in a point right now where I need to move out. I'm possibly getting a promotion or getting a denial on that promotion, which means that I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm going to have to start working on buying my own house and selling my trailer and moving and becoming a man, having higher quality hobbies, being a better financial resource for myself and my family. It's this pivotal moment in my life. Actually, that should be the title. A pivotal moment. And I'm just trying to figure out, what the hell am I doing? And that is the question. What do I do? How do I approach this? Because I am lost as can be. I've never done this before. I've never lived this before. So I don't know how to do it. And don't get me wrong, I do my research. I'm an obsessive person. I do my research on everything. On relationships, on housing, on the market around me. What steps need to be taken that I need to do. I've thought about all of these. I've pondered them. I've really tried to figure all this out. But I still have no clue what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, when I experience this for myself, I will definitely share it with you. And I'm at a point right now where this is our 4th date with this girl, and we haven't seen each other for a week and a half now. And it's been going good, but the last couple days have been troubling. See, when someone doesn't make time for you, and you're an obsessive overthinker like me, you start questioning yourself. You start saying, well, does this person even want to hang out with me? Does she even care? Does she care about me? Am I even worth caring about? That's how I feel. Maybe tonight's different. Maybe I'll watch a movie and get kicked out. Have a good one, Luke. Go back home. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the start or the end. I fear for this. I really do. Because amidst all of my red flags and hers, there's just as so many green flags between us. Don't get me wrong, everyone has their red flags. I've been trying to figure out what to do, how to approach it, and how to live it, All I do know is that I missed her. I missed her when I was gone. I miss her now. I'm out here in a Walgreens parking lot, waiting for a text so that I can get there. And I stopped halfway because she said I'm not home yet. So I'm trying to be respectable and not show up to her house an hour before she does. That's a little weird. Alright? But I was so excited to get out of my house. Because Saturday night, I wanted to hang out, but she was tired. Fine. Sunday she worked. Okay. Makes sense. She's up all day, but couldn't hang out with me. I understand. She's had a rough week. A rough month, honestly. A lot of stuff's been going on. And I don't want to get into details here, but there's a lot of stuff going on in her life, and I'm trying to help her with it. But when you have been without a relationship so long, you have less trust. And that goes both ways. That's for myself and her. We've both been single for a while. I think up to a year now, something like that. So being exclusive with someone, being a girlfriend, boyfriend with someone after such a long hiatus, it's hard to fathom. You can't just be close with someone, because that's weird. You can't develop these strong feelings so fast because, well, that's fake. It's not right. It betrays the reality of who you both are together. I've only known this girl for maybe a month. I have no right to tell her what to do, or tell my own thoughts what to do, or be upset with her or anything like that. And I shouldn't have these feelings. I miss her. I like her. And probably there's some other hormones talking. I'm trying to do my best not to let those overshadow what's really happening. I'm really trying to take a step back and think about what we are, what we have experienced, and where does this relationship stand, Because like I said, I have an obsessive personality. I find something or someone and I latch onto it and I don't let go. And that's the hardest thing, really. Because I don't know how to slow down. I don't. I fall, and I fall hard. I don't know what to do. And then on the other side, if I get this promotion at this other job or not, either way, it's a big deal. It means an hour and a half drive for more money, kind of. But the hour drive will probably suck so much more money out of my bank account where I'll probably make less immediately. Then I'll have to buy a house, which means I won't be making any money anymore. I will be putting money towards a house, which means I need to rent out rooms, which comes out with a whole list of things. And I've considered renting an apartment and everything like that, but I don't want to just make ends meet. I don't want to do that. I want to thrive. I want to have a house for a family. I need that security in my life, financially, but also locationally. I want a house that I can spend the next 5 to 10 years in Central Florida, with 0 HOA or $100 a month or less kind of thing. I've been really pondering this, really thinking about it, trying to figure out the best way to approach it. But if I move from my current spot, which I have to in the next 2 months now, maybe 2.5, I have 2.5 months left before I get kicked out, which means I have to figure this out. I've got to buy a house. I've got to maybe extend that date a little bit more, and I've got to figure it out. It's a scary time in my life. And the one thing that I hope that stays between all of this is this girl, my light, I want her to be my light. I hope she is. And when I say my light, I mean in the void of darkness and void that is my soul for the last so many years. I've looked at my childhood pictures. I understand now. It's why I don't smile. I've always been this way. I've giggled as a kid. I've been happy. I've had happy moments today and yesterday and the day before. But the true reality of my life is that it is boring. I am bored. I'm obsessive. I will go through Game of Thrones like that. I'll go through video games like that. I used to read a lot more. I'm actually starting to get back into reading with this girl. which means I'm going to start reading books like that. And soon, when I get my own house, I want to make my own mead, which is a wine or alcohol. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. But what I'm trying to say here is obsessive personality. That's what I was going at. I'm just trying to figure out what I should do. Because I have all these ideas. I have all these things that I want to do. I want to get more physically fit. I want to get a better diet. I want to take better care of my health. I want to quit some bad behaviors that I do. If you know, you're a guy or a girl. We all have sinful things that we do. Now, you can believe in God or not. I'm not really here to judge you. I'm not really sure what to believe in either right now. But I do believe that we've got to do our best in life. Isn't that right? We have to do our best. I would hope so. I need to do my best in my life. I want a legacy. Family. History books. I want to be remembered. And that's partly why I do these videos. I don't care if 3 people watch these videos. At least 3 people have maybe gotten a perspective on their life. Maybe learned from some of my mistakes. Maybe had a laugh with me. I try to keep it professional on here. But I have no idea what to do next. Sorry, I just had to lock my doors. But what I'm saying is, enjoy your life. And by the way, if you're still in high school, let me tell you this right now, or in college, I want you, I don't care how young you are, to make as many friends as possible and get their numbers, get their social media, get everything. And then keep in contact with them for as long as you can, because the reality of this world is the only people that you will hang out with in the future, once you're done with school, once you're done with college, is your coworkers, people you meet at the gym, and that's it. Your friend circle is done for after you finish those things. So I suggest that you make friends while you can. And don't get me wrong, you can still meet people. You can still be friends with people. You can still meet people at the bar and the club or whatever. Meet people doing hobbies that you enjoy. Photography, art, book club, I don't know. But I will tell you, as you get older, it is very hard to make friends because you are constantly working, which means the only friends you have are co-workers, which is not ideal. That being said, I've had some great coworker friends, and as they've quit, got fired, or whatever, I've still tried to keep in contact with everyone the best I can. Sorry, I just had to zone out for a sec, because there's a lot of things on my mind. And I don't know. It's tough. I'm sorry, I don't have all the answers. You're going to have to deal with that. I'm not here to give you all the answers. I'm not omniscient. By the way, if you've never read a book, might I suggest Starters? Yes, I know it's a teen novel for 16-year-olds, but it is an amazing book. Perfect. I am on my way. Anyways, hang on. Sorry. I'm going to still talk to you because I need to talk to you. And I'm sorry for not having a perfect script or nothing. This is off rip. I'm just getting my thoughts out. I find that if I don't do this enough, I start losing my mind. But in life, we got to do our best. We have to. Do you want a legacy? Even if you don't care, maybe you should. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Hang on. Oh, I can't see any saved stuff. Let's see. Oh my gosh. My phone menu. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I'm trying to navigate with this and then still film with my phone. And we are off and ready to go. Let me tell you though, for real, if you're in a relationship, male or female, whatever, or whatever you're doing, what's your advice? For yourself, maybe, but for myself as well. Leave in the comments. I mean, what makes a good relationship? Let me try to put my 2 cents on it. I think a good relationship is being able to put down everything else, right? And that means chemistry too. Now, naturally, by our nature, which I'll definitely like to get back into at some point, maybe I'll finish out the video with it, is what is our, actually, I'll start right now. What is our nature as humans? Now remember, if you believe in God or not, whatever, we are classified as animals. And what is the purpose of us animals, technically mammals of that? What do you have? Well, we want humanity to survive. If we all die, extinction, that's like the worst thing, right? In every movie, every TV show, every story, it's about preserving life, having the best life outcome possible, and having a good story. The trials and the triumph, the difficulty and the sorrow, the happiness and the joy, everything that comes with life. Now beyond that, we set our own expectations of life, right? So you have so much more than just that. Take, for example, what is our nature? We're to reproduce. Our sole purpose in our life, behind everything else, is reproduce. We have to reproduce to survive. So that our chemistry, our physical bodies say, you know, that's our primary instinct. Our second instinct is to survive. I would say survival is above that. Okay, fine. You want yourself to survive. Anyone who overcomes that is using, well, first of all, their brain has been broken over the years by the human condition. And that is, what other animal on earth or living like being kills itself without reproducing? Every other animal, maybe it dies of like suicide or whatever, but at the, oh my gosh, I said the word. I hope I don't get demonetized. But everything that offs itself to survive is to reproduce another offspring or something like that. Sometimes our species just does it, which is crazy. Our human condition, the stresses of our lives overcome our basic instinct to survive, which I think is fascinating and disturbing. That means that our brains have become so advanced that we are outthinking our basic instincts. What's wired in our brain that says keep on living, another part of the brain says no, this sucks too bad. And I think that's fascinating and disturbing. And I think that as the future goes on and as we get more advanced as a species, technologically, but also in our minds are going to get stronger, right? I mean, what have you heard about iPad kids? These iPad kids, you give them an iPad, yes, they're brain rotted, but they know how to work an iPad, put on safeguards against the parental locks and everything like that. That's crazy. But they do it. And eventually they're going to grow up to be definitely brain rotted ass kids, but they'll also be really good with computers, better than my generation, better than my parents, and better than my parents before them. So as time goes on, technology and humans will surpass their potentials. They'll coexist one and the same before we inevitably get killed by AI. But the point is that our nature is to survive and then reproduce, and then I would say is pursuing satisfaction, the hedonistic thoughts, right? Then you have, the pleasure, you have the overeating or whatever. Those are the 7 deadly sins, pride and legacy and everything like that. But at the same time, right under that, I think number 4 would be religion. What is the meaning of life? Why are we even here? And I think that is where those ideations come from, where people don't feel like being here anymore. It's because, why am I even here? Why bother? And if you don't have a God to believe in, to know that everything's for a purpose, or after you die, there's some sort of, afterlife or anything like that, why are you here? And one of two things happen. Either you become a cynic, a nihilist, or whatever, or you become an optimist and you believe in God, or maybe something else. Maybe you just start, offing people. Because why bother? Who cares? There is no morality. And I think that's kind of messed up. But, that's the way the world works. What's the number 5, though? I would guess to say that number 5 on that list is obtaining wealth, obtaining status, and everything like that. It's not necessarily tied to legacy. It's more of these primal conditions that come out of us that say we have to be the best at everything. And it's more of a competition, ego, everything that comes with that. Well, let me just, there we go. Anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. Something important. By the way, if I don't get to say it to you later, Happy New Year's. Or, Happy 2026, whatever. I hope to talk to you before that, but just in case, Happy New Year's. Am I going to have a New Year's resolution? I don't know. Probably not. I guess my New Year's resolution is do better. Be better. Attempt to be better. Overcome, Because, our lives are too boring. They're too short. And there's so much out there. And if you just live your life, you go to work, maybe you scrounge around to live, and you have a decent life, that's okay. But to have a great life, you've got to strive for it. You got to persevere. You got to do some hard things. And if you want a legacy, a big family in the future, with maybe your name even mentioned in the history books, you've got to do some great things. That's what I hope to accomplish. Will I be a politician in the future? Not with these videos. No way. No way I'll survive that. I'm not even sure I'll be able to go into upper management with the videos I drop here. And I don't say anything crazy, but I definitely say enough where it's a problem. Because I'm not media trained. I have no idea what I'm saying. I know I've accidentally cursed on here a couple times. I know I've said a couple off-putting or offensive things on here accidentally. I don't mean it. But I'm not media trained. I'm just being straight up with you. And by the way, if you're watching this in the future, let me just say now that none of my points are 100% accurate to who I am, and none of my points cannot ever be changed. Or cannot, yeah. You know what I mean. I can always change my mind. So if I say something now, I might change my mind tomorrow. And I think you should never punish anyone for what they said 10 years ago. Anyways, if that comes out ever, that's what I think. Man, it is a beautiful night. I hope it is a beautiful night. And, well, I won't tell you how beautiful a night it was, or is, or can be. I will tell you that it's going to be alright. Because I believe in you. I believe that you can do great things. I hope I can do great things. And I hope that the future is good to me. I hope I have good fortune in the years to come. Ooh, Game of Thrones reference. But yeah, that's how my future's looking. Tomorrow I may get an answer on this promotion and I will be joyful as can be. I will be a jolly little man. Well, 5'11" man. That being said, I gotta throw on some music. I'll catch you next time. Peace.